Hi and welcome. My name's Rob Scott from UC Today, bringing you the latest news and conversation from the unified communications and collaboration industry. So today's talk is centered on RingCentral video. And to help explore this topic, I'm joined by RingCentral's Senior Vice President and Chief Product Officer, Will Moxley. Welcome, Will.
Oh, hello. Glad to be here.
Hey, thanks for joining me, Will. Really good to see you.
Absolutely.
We've got an interesting one lined up today. Really keen to get stuck into RingCentral video and find out more about it. But just before we get started, how about do a quick intro? Because you've actually been at Salesforce for 13 years now, or you've been at Salesforce for 13 years and now RingCentral for 1 year. So keen to just hear a little bit more about yourself and what the last 12 months has been like for you.
Well, I was really excited to join RingCentral. I guess it's almost a year and a half now ago, because I just thought, wow, like companies really growing. They're really helping companies, move into the cloud for all their communications. I got really excited and decided it was time for a change, and it's been great. So, things were growing really quickly when I joined, and it was very fast paced. But then come this March, when COVID hit, I mean, we hit the accelerator. You didn't think it'd go any faster. Oh boy, things went faster. So it's been an intense year, an intense last 9 months in particular, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's really pushed us to make things happen for our customers, and I think we've done a great job of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always an interesting brand to watch. You seem to be just growing and growing and growing, and maintaining that top right-hand corner of the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So congratulations once again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was 6 years in a row now. So we worked hard for that. We're very proud of that, and we intend to continue doing that. So that was a great milestone, being able to do that again.
Fantastic. So today's topic, we said we'd talk about RingCentral Video, a video conferencing and collaboration platform that Ring released, around April 2020, I think we went public with it?
Yeah, it was April. It was the very start of April, right after this whole thing happened. That was not planned. That's what happened.
I was going to say that is impeccable timing, or the worst timing ever.
A little bit of both,
Great stuff. Well, I'm really keen to kind of delve into its capabilities and share with our audience today, more about it, what it can do, and how it really stacks up against some of the other major players that are in the video conferencing and meeting solution space. So, first of all, Will, give us a bit of an introduction to RingCentral Video, because two brands stand out in the pandemic for video conferencing, and Zoom being one of them, and Microsoft Teams probably being the other one. So, those are two big brands, but, RingCentral are more than capable of competing against those two brands in this space. You're, as we just mentioned, a leader in the UC space. So, tell us a little bit about it, and how would you compare it to, maybe some of those, major players in the marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so RingCentral Video is really a part of our suite of products, which is the product we have that we offer in the market. It's called Office, and it has three components: messaging, team messaging, video meetings, and telephony, all integrated into one user experience. So that's one thing, is that you've got one unified application, one unified client that lets you communicate in all three of those modes. The new mode being video meetings, using our video meeting technology. So it's really part of this broader suite that allows you to communicate in any way that you want. And what I think is different about RingCentral Video is a couple things. The first is, you don't need to download anything to join a meeting. You can just use the browser, and we make it really simple and really easy for a participant to join a meeting. And that's important because you want to make sure that when you're having a meeting with people, especially external parties, that it's dead simple and fast for them to get into a meeting. And that's really what we've optimized around. You don't have to download an app like a lot of other clients make you do. And when you do use the browser, it's just as good as an experience as if you used our app. We do have an app. You can download a mobile app. You can download a desktop app. But the browser experience is equally as rich, has all the same capabilities as the app. And so that's one big difference. Another thing I'd say is that it's unified. It's integrated into that whole product suite. So you can start on a phone call and then switch right into a video meeting, or switch right into a screen share. So you can seamlessly move across different modes of communication. You could be in a team, collaborating, texting with a bunch of, chatting with a bunch of people, and then go start a video meeting and instantly start a video meeting with all the same people in that chat. So we're really trying to bring together, messaging, video meetings, and telephony into this integrated experience. And as you know, our messaging is very strong, and our telephony is, 5 nines of reliability, world-class telephony in over 41 countries, full service. So that's another thing. And then I'd say the other area we've really focused on is, around the user experience and providing what we call a before, during, and after meeting experience. A lot of meeting products really just focus on the actual meeting, the actual conversation you have, and not on how do you prepare for that meeting. How did you collaborate to put the presentation together? And then after the meeting, there's follow-ups. There's tasks you have to do. There's content to share. Do they solve for that? So we use team messaging and connect it with the video meeting experience to provide this before, during, and after meeting experience, where you collaborate in a team with people inside or outside your company to put together that agenda to discuss what's going to be discussed. You have the meeting, and then after the meeting, you put the tasks, you put the recording, you put the documents you shared back into that team. And so we're really thinking about that whole meeting life cycle. So those are some of the things I would highlight as being different, and obviously trust and reliability. We're known for our trust and reliability. That's a big part of, or one of the major reasons, we're that Gartner Magic Quadrant leader, and people expect incredible audio, incredible video experience, and just reliability, and that's an area it's in our DNA. It's something we really focus on all the time.
That's really interesting. Thanks, Will. And a couple of things stand out that you just said there. One, I managed to get some time to test drive RingCentral Video, and
oh, great!
I was really impressed with, and I'm not just saying that. I was really impressed with the user experience. It was second to none. And as you say, being in the browser, I didn't need to leave the browser. It was just all very, very simple to use. No download of any software, which is different from some of the other players in the marketplace that do rely on an installed bit of software. So that was quite pleasant. And the other one that jumped out to me, you're talking about the kind of before and after, is that, I think that's a really interesting point, is that a meeting isn't just about the 30 minutes that you schedule. It actually starts before that and after, and a lot happens afterwards. So I think that's interesting that you're taking that approach, because I think there's a lot that can be done there. So in terms of that full UC experience, and we're hearing a lot nowadays about team collaboration apps and kind of Microsoft Teams being and Slack being the kind of classic team channel based messaging application. But would you say that it needs to be the interface in the new normal, in the new digital workplace, or what's your approach? Because you talk about a unified app, don't you? Which is is it the same, or is it slightly different?
I mean, I think the unified app does provide the full collaboration that you need. We think that at the very least you need team messaging and video meetings to have collaboration, but we think that nowadays, as you're going from meeting to meeting, you need some context you bring with you from meeting to meeting. And that team messaging, that collaboration layer, we can share documents, share notes, share tasks, and have a conversation, is that context that allows you to collaborate and be more effective as you're in one virtual meeting to another. So we think that collaboration is an absolutely essential part of having a great meeting experience. That's why we're doing this before, during, and after meeting experience. We think that collaboration layer is really critical, because as you said, it's not like the meeting's over and then there's nothing to do. There might be 5 other meetings that you follow up on, right? If it's a project, you're going to have 10, 20 meetings to continue working on, and you need to provide that context as you go from meeting to meeting. And we're providing you not just the actual video experience, but that collaboration layer with that video, integrated with that video experience, to really make you more effective as a company or as an individual.
Thanks, Will. And an essential ingredient as part of the video communications piece is hardware, right? I mean, webcams, room kits, devices, all sorts coming through from the marketplace nowadays. I mean, you take a relatively multi-vendor approach, would you say, in that
Absolutely.
space?
Absolutely. So I could share. So we do have rooms, what we call conference room equipment capabilities and a rooms offering. What we initially released was more of an off-the-shelf solution where you use a Mac Mini and an iPad, and then whatever kind of TV, speaker, camera you want to use. Pretty much any off-the-shelf equipment will work with this rooms equipment. And then later on, we started to release more appliance-based solutions. So like we work with Poly on their new Poly X30 and Poly X50, these huddle room equipment. And all the growth in rooms is really in these huddle rooms, 4 people, 10 people, kind of size rooms, small to medium rooms. So we released support for that a little bit later, like I believe that was in the early fall. And we've had plans to support Windows equipment and a lot of other configurations and a lot of other vendors out there. But our goal is to make it, whatever vendor you want to work with, whatever kind of hardware you want to work with, that's popular out there in the market, we want to support so that you can just use either the hardware you already have or the hardware you want to use, right? So we think that rooms are going to be, as people get vaccinated and we're allowed to leave our homes and are allowed to go back to the office, we think there's going to be this very hybrid environment, right? Where there's a lot of maybe half the people will be remote. Maybe it was only a handful of people before, but half the people will be remote. And then the other half may be in multiple different offices in different rooms. And you need to provide this incredible experience for people that are in the room and remote. And we think that the rooms experience is a really important part of this new hybrid experience, especially huddle rooms, because you're probably not going to have like giant mega rooms as much. I mean, you will; that'll still be there on occasion, but we want to facilitate this new world that's going to emerge after people are now working from home a lot more than they used to, and have this great experience. And we're thinking also like about making it touchless, so you can just say commands. We haven't done that yet, but that's part of our plan, so that you don't have to touch the equipment, you don't have to spread more germs and things like that. But it's a pretty critical part of our strategy.
Yeah, and I'm hearing equally lots and lots around kind of. I mean, I've almost just made it up, but smart meeting rooms, right? So meeting
That's right.
ultimately can connect the virtual world, the in-person world, and also bring context to the meeting space in real time, which, as you talked about, a few minutes ago, context is really important to the meeting experience.
That's right.
Experience. So, in terms of, let's just jump back onto that context. Kind of, that can really add some, superpowers to the calling and meeting experience, can't it? And what types of benefits would you say that are could be had, if you really do bring context into those conversations?
I mean, I think people are better prepared if you have context in the conversation. I think people remember to follow up. I think context is super important. That's why we did this before, during, and after kind of experience, is to provide that persistent context. And that's one way we provide context, right? Is to, hey, the presentation's here, that the agenda that we worked on is here, and then afterwards, oh, what was it that he said? You can go watch the recording, you can go see the tasks, you can go get all those. That makes sure people follow up. In the end, you're more productive, right, when you have this context, because you know where to go look for things, you know where to go find the content you need, you know where to be prepared, and you have a medium for preparing for these meetings. But I also think context is not just that; it's also integrating with all the other applications you use. So, we made sure that RingCentral Video is integrated with your CRM, so like Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics. So if you're an inside salesperson, your context is your list of leads that you're going to call, right? And so you can, right from that list of leads in Salesforce, click on a contact and dial them right away. And so we provide the context of that CRM into the conversation that you're having, and we work right inside of the CRM application. If you're using, Office or Microsoft Office, that is, or you're using G Suite and you want to schedule a meeting, we bring the meeting context into that as well. So we work with all these different products: Zendesk, Microsoft Dynamics, and even your custom applications in your office, so that we're available, so that you can communicate in the way you want to in those other applications as well. And that's another way we bring context into the picture. And I think that's really critical for our customers, business workflows. And that's why we do it. That's why we do these integrations, because they want to provide this communication capabilities in those contexts.
How easy do you make it to set all that up? Because bringing all these worlds together historically was either very expensive or very complex.
We make it super easy. We have an entire developer website, the entire developer community, where any developer can sign up for a free sandbox account, and we give them training, we give them documentation, sample code, and we have a full, robust set of APIs for video meetings, for telephony, for messaging, that we publish and update and enhance all the time, so that any third-party partner can go in and build an integration and then publish it so that anyone can download it and use it. So we have a lot of third-party partners that are leveraging that technology, those capabilities, to build their own integrations and then make them available to everyone. And then we handle the ones like Salesforce or Google or Microsoft. We build those ourselves, and then we list them on what we call our app gallery. So all someone needs to do to, say, integrate Salesforce with RingCentral, is they just go to the RingCentral app gallery, they find that app for Salesforce, they install it, they go through the little setup, and then they're ready to go. You don't need complex coding or integrations. We make it as turnkey as possible, because this is really critical to our customers, and this is kind of what people expect now. These integrations should not be complicated, and they aren't, and that's because that's how people want to work, and we make sure to make it easy for them.
Fantastic. You're absolutely right. The management experience and the user experience is just as important as the other. So, in talking about the management experience, security came up a lot in 2020, especially with video conferencing platforms, as we know. The world started using video, right? So it wasn't just businesses, which caused all sorts of kind of chaos and mayhem. But talk to me about security. Well, I mean, how important is that to RingCentral and its video platform, and what have you been doing on that side of things?
I mean, security is mission critical. I mean, I know when the pandemic hit, a lot of the meeting providers, there was a lot of press, about people joining meetings that shouldn't have been, and recordings being exposed. I mean, that has been top of mind for us from day one. It always has been, even before we released RingCentral Video. But with RingCentral Video, we made a really concerted effort to provide all those security features that make sure only the right people that should be in a meeting are in that meeting. So very quickly after some of those capabilities we had right when we released the product, like the ability to password protect your meeting, the ability to say, hey, no one can join until the host join. But then we made some changes right after the pandemic, right at the start of our release, to do things like defaulting passwords always on, making sure that the default was that the participants can't join until there's a host. Then we added things like allowing a moderator to block video from a participant, allow them to block screen sharing from a participant, allow them to block chat from a participant, and restrictions like only allow people from my company to join the meeting, or only allow people that are registered RingCentral users to join my meeting. So we gave people all kinds of new capabilities so that they can dial up or dial down the security they have in a meeting depending on how sensitive it is. And we made sure to make it really easy. I was a little bit concerned, honestly. The more security you add, the more barriers to joining a meeting, the more complex it could get. But we did an excellent job, and big credit to the product team, here at RingCentral. Big credit to the the user experience team. They managed to make it so you can make these meetings extremely secure, but it really has no impact on the user experience. So I'm extremely proud of them for doing that, because that was one of my concerns. I wanted to make sure that didn't become a problem, and we didn't. I think they passed with flying colors, able to provide all these dials for security without complicating things at all.
Yeah, that is a fantastic achievement. I think that is the challenge, isn't it? That to achieve that.
Absolutely.
Hey, Will, just final question today is, where are we heading with RingCentral Video? It sounds like you've not finished yet. You're going to continue developing the platform. What can we expect from RingCentral in 2021?
I think you can expect a lot. Well, obviously, we're going to continue to focus on this before, during, and after meeting experience, and we have a lot of ideas to enrich it and make it even better. So we're not done there, right? I would always say the product's never done. That's what it is as a product person. But a big investment in AI. So we're going to be investing quite a bit in AI. We just recently acquired a company called Deep Effects that's going to help us towards that. Some of the new AI capabilities we just recently released were virtual backgrounds. We released the ability to automatically transcribe what you're saying as you're speaking as well. And those are just the start. So next year we want to be able to do things like, summarize the meeting for you. Hey, you didn't attend the meeting, you don't have to watch all our presentation. Just read for 5 minutes a short synopsis of what happened in the meeting that the AI will do for you. Could we use the AI to auto-assign tasks out to people? Hey, we heard these action items to these particular people. Here's a recommended action item, so that you don't have to do that. That's when you really start to take productivity to the next level, right? When you can save people a time of taking notes, when you can save people a time of assigning out action items. So we really want to leverage AI to take that meeting experience to the next level, and we're excited about doing that next year.
Well, you've done an absolutely sterling job on the product so far. I must say it's a pleasure to use it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great talking to you.
Likewise. Thanks, Rob. Thank you so much.
And that's it from us. If you've enjoyed today's session, please do give us a quick like or a share on social. It's always appreciated. I'm Rob Scott from UC Today. Thanks for watching.